Alright, so welcome. We're covering the best GR3 car for online racing and how it actually dominates online racing. And we're going to show you how to find that. And it's going to start with a few qualifying laps. So you need to definitely, before you get up to online racing, do some qualifying laps. I'll also be covering how having too good of a qualifying lap can actually be kind of detrimental to your racing. So the qualifying lap is going to be all about shaking out the cobwebs, testing how fast you can go, how you can take, where are your braking points, when can you start accelerating, and it is going to vary up to drastically from one vehicle to another. They don't all turn in the same way. They don't all respond the same to throttle or braking, and even the revving points aren't the same, you know. So the Porsche 911, for example, first and second gear, you've got a lot that you can get done in first and second gear. They're gears you're going to need to use. Braking is fantastic, so we're going to be testing out the Porsche 911 with the new livery, the new skin that we've thrown on it. And after that, we'll jump to the NSX, because the NSX is a great, easy to drive, fantastic all-around vehicle that really absorbs user air. I'd say it's one of the best. That and the Nissan GTR are some of the best beginner cars to use. So which vehicle are you going to dominate online? There's Winston. He's decided to head out. What vehicle will have you dominating online racing is actually going to be probably quite different than which one really does dominate online racing. So to find the vehicle, because it's going to vary from one track to another. So to find the vehicle that absolute dominates on a particular track, I'll show you when we pull out of this and right before the main race starts, but you're going to go to the ranking board and I'll show you exactly where to go, and you can see which car dominates, or two cars absolutely dominate a track, and that might actually be the worst car for you to use. It might be absolutely disastrous and really a frustrating experience. So this boils down to matching your strengths and weaknesses with the car's pros and cons. So that's why we need to go through all the cars on the Red Bull Ring in Gran Turismo 7. And this is going to be true for any sim racer you play that you want to learn how to drive to get better lap times in real life, or just because you love sim racing. But before you actually do some real lap times, I highly recommend doing a lot of sim racing. Better to hit the wall here than to hit it in real life with your own personal car. And our goal on JCCR Racing is to get to 1,000 subscribers. You'll be part of the OG crew, the JCCR Racing crew, the original OGs, if you subscribe before we get to 1,000 subscribers. And you'll be helping us get on our way to a goal. Well, of course, we want to upgrade the racing sim here, but we also want to take one of the Porsche 911s to the racing track. So you can see over on Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, which is also a YouTube channel of mine, where we have two 911s, not new ones, so we don't have, $500,000 worth of cars, but we do have quite a few cars over there. But let's get back to the subject at hand and putting the pedal to the metal. The right car, you need to match its skills. So know yourself first. And this is true of any endeavor that you're going to undertake in life, any project, whether it's sports or entrepreneurship, starting your business, investing in stocks. You need to know where your strengths and weaknesses are. And I know one of my weaknesses, I'm impatient and I'm a last minute breaker. I want to feel fast. I want that immediate reward. So no matter what car I drive, I need to remind myself, and these are beginner tricks, going in slow, out fast is a lot faster. So if you get the apex right there, you can be on the throttle so much earlier, and while it feels like you're doing the corner slower because you're going in slow, you're actually doing the corner at the turn at a much faster speed. So the key to fast bendies, going through bendies quick, you brake beforehand, you get to the curb, and you're back on the throttle as early as possible. Now, after that, you need to figure out where are your weak points. So I brake last minute. I need cars that brake really, really well. So the NSX, the Porsche 911, the Ferrari 458. And I also need cars that when you brake and you let go of the brake quickly, because I'm impatient and get distracted easily, the car doesn't shoot off track Now, one thing I don't like about the 911, and it has nothing to do with the 911, it has to do with me, is that the acceleration is kind of slow if you're not right at the peak. If you're not right at the peak of, if you're not right at the peak of the RPM. So you got to really rev it out. And when you go and you shift down because of a turn, taking off, only drive 2024. Hello, howdy, and welcome to the JCCR Racing this fine Wednesday night. So you can see we got the police skin on the 911, and we're going to be talking about which cars absolutely dominate online. Now, for this particular course, Red Bull, the Genesis is fantastic, the Corvette is fantastic, the GTR is fantastic, but then you need to figure out, are those cars right for you? Do you want to go through the learning curve of trying to, match up their ideal driving manners to your driving manners? So I'm an impatient driver, and for all impatient last-minute breakers out there, you're going to want a car that brakes really quickly. And if you're also impatient and pop the brake too quickly, many cars are actually going to shoot off track. Like, they're going to change the direction. The 458, once you get used to it, very controllable. Same thing for the 911. But did you participate in GT Nations? Oh, I think I missed I think my race might be set up for 11 this evening. So I don't know. That's getting kind of late. I don't know if I will be participating in it. But thank you very much for the reminder. Next time I'll need to put it in my schedule. So for the 911, it's got a little bit of pop. It's got a little bit of pop, and first getting out of it is slow. Second, the pushing. So expect some epic online battles here. Oh my goodness, they're extra saucy tonight. These hot dogs have hot sauce in them, and they're treating me like a bun. They're trying to stuff me all through the track. Lap 1, beginner tip. So we'll cover different strengths and weaknesses of various cars and how to match that up to your own strengths and weaknesses. So like I said, last minute breaker, and I would have had a better time in the NSX doing that. And actually my fastest lap right now isn't with a GTR or the Corvette, which would be kind of I'm not driving the Genesis, I refuse. I'm not getting to the Soccer Mom sedan. But I would have been speared to another stratosphere if it weren't for the update where they ghost people in corners. And the NSX, I got my fastest lap, which is he went way too slow, so the game ghosted him, which is nice because I hate punting someone and getting a 4-second lap time when it purely has to do with them not driving right. And I say that's a hold my drink moment as I slide out. Drifting is not fast. You lose time when you're sliding out, and that's one of the things with the 911. I'm sliding out pretty often. Oh my goodness, please ghost him. So yeah, expect some epic battles. We're in D class. It is D clown show, so lap 1 for survival. When you're racing, stay out of trouble. I should have the radar on, but my controller to switch that is quite a bit lower. So far outside to the far inside, but we just got punted. Those nasty, dirty dozen drivers. So I feel like when you take someone completely off the track and it's like the individual's going far too fast. I was going too fast for the corner, and for me to be hit that hard and that fast, the Gran Turismo 7's got to put 10-15 second penalties on, or instead of just ruining someone's race, make them pay for it. It's like, oh, you caused 100,000 damage between the two cars. It comes right out of your credits. And when you run out of credits, you just can't play online. You're forced to go and race with some bots and learn some manners, but then make the rewards so much more. Make first place like 1 million or 2 million, and then scale it back to 10th, getting 100,000 in credits. Not, 10,000, 12,000 credits. The rewards are kind of pointless and ridiculous, and if you're trying to buy cars as well in this game, it's like, well, why play online? It's a mix of frustration and no credits. So I think Gran Turismo 7 could really improve in that respect, but I'm still having an absolute fun blast. Not bitter, just suggestions. So that's a corner that needs to be taken fast and can only be done so if you've got a good a good or better line. So I really like that corner for that reason here. The trick is, and I was far from the apex, but to be fast, you got to be touching the apex like we got there. So that was actually pretty decent. But yeah, I did a qualifying time of 1:31 in the NSX, and I almost feel like it's risk penalizing me, because if I get a fast lap time and a few pole positions, I will be shot back to C class. So I'm kind of pretty happy being in D class. I don't want to just jump into C class because I get decent at one race. I want it to be natural when I become decent at many races. And a lot of the races I still don't have memorized or haven't really raced in 9 months. So you're watching JCCR Racing, where we're going to be covering all the tips you need, the guide, the walkthrough, the tips to do decently as a beginner and to enjoy online racing or offline racing, because these tips are going to help you whether you're online racing or racing the AI. A big one is to drive clean and safe. Don't retaliate. Watch your markers. So there, the 50. I know I need to put the brake down here. I ever so slightly tap the brake, then I power out. Here, go super wide onto the asphalt section here. Hit the apex here and start throttling on, and that will get us to passing vehicles when they don't also take it pretty decently. Hey, Lone Wolf, what's up? Oh shit, shucks. Oh, sorry, I was reading, happy that you're back, and reading the comment, and had a little oopsie doopsie, poopsie doopsie. A little bit of embarrassment there. Well, luckily I didn't lose too much time. I lost no more than a second looking silly there. So we can definitely catch it up there. You can definitely get ahead on cars. We're closing the gap just because we went in slow, got the right angle, and even though I took that corner slower than quite a bit slower than ideal, we're closing the gap. So better to be safe than sorry, and safe means driving slowly. Now this isn't safe. I'm starting off in first, risking spinning out the back end. The Porsche 911 does like to spin out the back end. It's not like the NSX where you can just give her pedal to the metal and the car just laughs and says, "Is that all you got?" and just keeps taking it. And I really love the NSX, but I really love the police skin on this. I also picked up a nice army skin, so if you want an army skin, just go to the loadout section, go to loadout when you're in the tune-up shop, and write when you have the 911 or any vehicle on, write police, and you'll see some cool police skins. Also same thing for army, some very cool army skins available. So safe smart driving there, easy pass, because he got a penalty for either being not safe or smart. He'll get another one because he just booted me, punted me to another stratosphere. And you see, I would prefer to drive poorly and make a driving mistake like I did there than to drive into the back of another vehicle. And what did his punt get him? 2 second, huge gap behind me, and a 2 second penalty. So he didn't do himself any favors driving like a drunk or texting while driving individual. Must have been doing his nails or something. Forgot his brakes. Oh, cool. I see he learned the lesson that punting someone is occasionally beneficial and often not great. I was C class. Yeah, no. We are D class. 2 weeks ago, we got put into C because we got too many pole positions in the D class. I knew the race. Now we're down to D. And we started, I think, in 5th with my new time, 1:31 on this race. Started in 5th, but got punted hard lap 1, completely spun out. So again, slowly catching up, never rage quit or cry quit, nothing learned. And you see here, we're sticking to it. I'm gonna slowly push the car. I'd say lap 1, stay out of trouble, play it safe, and relearn that car. And even if, like, there's cars I drove last night, I can say, yeah, I know the NSX. I drove a pretty decent lap of 1:31. For me, I'm all good. I'm just gonna push it. Lap 1, I'm still going to take it easy and be like, okay, let's not take it to 10 tenths of what I and it can do. Oh, cool. People could be kicked out. That's an option too, Lone Wolf. Yeah, either kick them out, or I would find it really interesting that they pay credits for the damage, and when you're out of credits, you can't play online. You have to go play against the AI and regain some money. And it's kind of like, hey, if you can't play with others and share your toys, sorry, you're gonna be put in the corner of the classroom with one crayon and a piece of paper. Have fun, buddy boy. Act like a kid, get sent to the kids' corner. And then it'd be cool too if they publicize people's actual credits. They're like, oh man, this guy has a ton of money and has a safety rating S. Must never crash his car or cause accidents for others. And it's like an extra little ego boost point. So Lone Wolf, just want to mention, we're going to have a subscriber race this Friday, being set up by one of the subscribers. It's going to be under JCCR Racing subs. And it's Squirrel. Yeah, okay, Squirrel's here. Awesome. Squirrel 86. Yeah, so Squirrel 86 is setting up our... Sorry, my brain's kind of everywhere right now. Our JCCR Racing subs lobby Friday at 9 p.m. and that's Montreal time, or what we could call Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, Quebec, Ontario time. Oh, Lone Wolf on call. Very cool. On call. Are you possible? You don't have to share any information, so don't feel obliged to say this. But are you on call because are you a paramedic, or just curious? Just curious, and no need to share. I can tell you what I do. I sell vehicles at a dealership, as well as having 2 YouTube channels, and I also invest in the stock market and run my stock market portfolio. And I also have a few shares. We've got a really neat setup at our dealership, and I think more businesses need to consider this. It really gets employee buy-in. It's good for the employees, for them wanting to take care of the business, but we have 10% of the business is a co-op, and I bought a good portion of the co-op, but it's slowly, but over the years. But I've noticed that at this dealership, people really want everyone to succeed, and even though we're in a highly competitive workplace, people still want others to succeed and not make mistakes. So there's no like hiding people's tools or setting people up to make major mistakes because it's funnier, you want to get them fired. You want everyone to succeed because at the end of the year you want the business to make money, so you make money. And I also think it's good that it makes sense. If you work towards the success of a business, why not share when it's successful? Why not share in the rewards as well? So it's kind of like kind capitalism. All right, so back to tips and tricks. We have to absolutely pit. I learned that last night I finished in second, got punted out of first, pushed out of first, but honestly, the person who finished first is a faster driver than me. They're all faster drivers than me. I'm just, I think, slowly proving that you can be slow, turtle slow. I'm gonna turtle. And still do decently just by driving safe and smart. Not smart enough to stop turning my head, but I think I've gone go-karting too many times. Or in the MR2, just trying to see around the pillar, the A pillar. So here we're gonna go from this extreme outside, cut in. It's a fast one, so cut in, get on the gas early, get back to the outside, cut over, trying to go diagonal on. And where's the pit? I missed the pit because I was just having too much fun focusing, I guess, on the turns, which is where you need to when you're trying to go faster and faster. So So I need to do that faster. I can see traffic building up behind me. So we've got some traffic, some faster drivers here. Get to the 100. Cut across. Get back on the throttle. Ooh, yeah, that Porsche 911, you got to be careful. The back end likes to slide. So you can't just mash the throttle in like a Neanderthal. Watched a really cool episode on the Neanderthals on the Y-Files last night with the wifey. Sometimes gives her nightmares, but builds character. Being scared a little, just builds a little character, we'll say. Woo, it's starting to slide, so I had no choice here. Need to pit, should have pitted earlier for faster, more grip. A little late on it, but there's still a lot. There's barely any. The tires are going to start sliding. I can already feel them slide somewhat, trying to push the car out. Oh, the pit's there. Why did I keep missing it? Because I've always been trying to do no pits. I'll have a 3-second penalty for jumping the line. Big rookie mistake right there. Little pit stop for myself. Now to our sponsors. You're watching JCCR Racing. But thank you so much for watching JCCR Racing. It really helps this small family business out. And, well, I like racing and hanging out with you all. So it's pretty cool getting to know people. It'll be very, very cool being able to actually race with the community here. So hope to see you Friday night at 9 p.m. in the JCCR Racing sub lobby. So look for that at 9 p.m. Ontario, Quebec, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine time. Okay, no, of course no tire. I was a little heavy on the gas, but no tire spin because I was in second. So as much as a turn might recommend first, if you come out in second, you're going to eliminate the risk of wheel spin. So I'm still, you know, you can see that I'm kind of, the 911 still scares me. It's still, I always feel like it's just about to lose control, even though I know it's a very solid car. But I've lost control too many times when I push the tires too far. Oh, lovely. Lovely. So, still need to get more speed on the Red Bull ring. So yeah, when you have fresh, soft tires, you can put the pedal much more to the metal as you're coming out of a turn, and as the tires wear down, you need to just be really consider the fact that you're not going to be able to push the tires the same way you're pushing them before. So simply said, in a much better way, I'll say it more simply, I guess. Beginning of a race, you can be harder on the throttle coming out of a turn. As your tires wear, you can be, well, near the end, you just can't put any throttle on if the steering wheel is turned. And the 911, I feel it's, when you know it really well, it's an amazing car and it's unbelievably fast. But it's about getting used to it. Because you saw there on the turn, I was coming out in second. Some cars would have had all sorts of torque and been still, you know, not dangerous, but, you know, just right being in second. Whereas the 911, woo, he was in my way. Oh, really didn't get the apex here. Horrible, horrible. Please don't ever copy that line. But this one is going to be a whole lot better, and I think is going to help me get a little closer to that Corvette in 10th. And the 911 also likes to be revved up, so if you're someone that sometimes, you know, forgets to shift, great. You kind of need to forget to shift on this one. Oh, just a little bit out. I might get a penalty on that, but we're on the final lap, so I'm finding with the 911, I'm often just not quite in the right gear because I'm used to shifting up to avoid rear tire spin coming out of turns. And here it's just too many times I was like, okay, where's the engine? Where's my torque? So the NSX, I feel, is just a perfect fit for a beginner intermediate like myself. We'll go see right where we finished up, what class we're in. We never recovered from getting taken out on lap 1, corner 1, or lap 1 somewhere, my recollection, late night recollection. So safety rating didn't go down, D rating didn't go down, so we were racing in D. And very nice when you're careful, when you're a courteous driver and you don't retaliate, you build up your rank, and once you get to S online, you're probably only going to get maybe mildly frustrated once or twice a race, and sometimes no times per race. So you really want to work to keep that S rating. So let me know what you think about the let me know about what you think about the little police decal, the skin, the livery on that. I also have an army livery for the 911, but the 911 is no longer my go-to vehicle. I like it, but for it to be my go-to vehicle, I'd have to not make videos online, and I just farm the 911. I just continuously drive the 911 and perfect all its adapt to its strengths and weaknesses, its pros and cons to my strengths and weaknesses. Now I'm watching my watch. I want to make sure I make it back, but I just want to show you where you can go and what you can type in case you're a beginner or amateur player and you haven't gone here yet. So you're going to want to head over down to the GT Auto, and you're going to go to car customization. So if you want a police livery or an army livery, even if you don't have any liveries yet, it seems weird to go say, well, I'm going to go load a style. You don't have any styles. I don't have any style in real life and in the game, but then I got a little bit of style. Oh, Ice Squirrel. Yeah, colors that I love for a livery. I like red. I like green. I also like blue. And I also like any of those colors when they're mixed in with black. So, army camo brings back some fine memories of when I injured my back. But there you got your army camo. I wasn't in the U.S. Army, so I didn't want one of the cars that say U.S. Army on it. But right there, you can see a nice little camo. Canadian military uses, Canadian forces uses what's called digital camo, but I couldn't find it. So I took this because it's kind of like blown up digital camo, because digital camo is kind of it's unique, patented Canadian forces army gear, and it's kind of like little squares and rectangles. Digital camo looks kind of like a computer created it, but it has its benefits. I guess it kind of blends in quite well, and then you get the little markers on it so that at night your brothers, you'll know who your brothers are at night, because you're going to get reflections under certain lighting. So there's your camo, and I find it does look very much like a frog because of the types of green, so I went with the police for this last race. But I just wanted to show you that if you go to load style and you don't have any style, you're like me, no style, you're going to go to, okay, so it's almost covered. Thankfully it's not. You're going to go to content search, and you're going to go down to keyword here, and you can write army or police or dragon. You get some pretty cool, let's say we write dragon here, get some pretty cool liveries up in this place. So, right off the top one, yeah, that's kind of a must-have right here. People didn't seem to respect the fact that I was in a police vehicle because I was getting pushed around and punted. So I wanted to test that. I said, if I go with the police Porsche, are people going to avoid me, be like, hey, maybe this guy's a little kooky and he's just going to, if I push him, he's just going to do the whole race, everything he can to slow down or speed up to, punish, serve, protect, and punish. But no, I think I was more like a target, and people were like, let's go hit the police. If it wasn't for getting ghosted out in certain corners where people are really going out of the way to spear you, someone went right through us because they got ghosted and just went way towards the wall. They're like, I'm gonna get the popo. So no longer will I drive in the popo and be punished for the colors I wear. Thank you to the good police officers that are out there. Not all police officers, just like any profession, there's good and bad. We can't judge people. We can't generalize. And, if you know an amazing police officer, they're not all amazing, but there are definitely a lot of amazing ones. And if you know, maybe one police officer that's not so amazing, well, that's really not the majority of them. Brother-in-law is a police officer, and he's absolutely fantastic, a wonderful human being, and he's the type of person that wants to help people out. Good man, very, very good man. So here we'll go back to the Red Bull Ring, and as promised, let's take a car that I can prove is going to be a lot easier to drive. It's going to be solid. If you really don't want to get pushed around, it's comical when people try to push around the GTR. They're only hurting themselves. And the Hurricane, not quite as extreme, but similar. Now we've got the deadline coming up. We've got 4 minutes for the entry deadline. So if ever you're wondering, what do the NSX, go back to the same place, whether you drive NSX, GTR, Ferrari, 458 Italia, which I left in in our channels. Livery, the dark red with the yellow lettering. I'm going to sign up for this, not take the chance of missing out. And here at JCCR Racing, we're working to, and I say we because it's all of us, because in the community we've got mentors, we got coaches, we got people who are much better drivers than myself, and read their comments, because there's already been quite a few comments where people are giving tips and tricks that are making myself a better racer, and if you read them, they'll make you a better racer as well. So we've got great people in the community here, and we're going to continue to grow the community. And my friend D Jenkins, I was actually in the NSX able to just squeak by him, and that's just through smart, safe driving in a very beginner friendly vehicle. So here, let's see what makes this car one of the best beginner vehicle cars. One, the turn-in is really good. The handling is light, effective, excellent handling, and the handling's, I feel it's good at high speeds. It's really good. You still get turned in at high speeds. The brakes are just wonderful. They'll really absorb an air. So an air, common air, you're supposed to brake at 100. If you're driving automatic, you might have to start braking at 120 or 130. But let's say right here at 100, if I brake a little bit after, I'm still going to get plenty of time to get the apex, and at worst you'll miss the apex in the vehicle. The NSX, like the 911, you really got to rev it out to get the most out of it and get the most speed out of the car. Here is so important to take that apex and then throttle right back on. I generally know where to go now and how to do it. I just got to make it happen. Just like I was always a better tennis instructor than actual player, especially that in competitions I'd get quite nervous, and even competitions where I'd be winning by a good amount, if I saw the other person mentally kind of suffering and being really frustrated, I just feel really bad. I guess I know maybe an overly sensitive kid. And here we go at 100. Use that engine braking. So lots of power in second, whereas the 911 I found it kind of bogged out in second. I was like, I'm missing power here. I find this is torquey. So first, even though I almost stopped, first still rips right through it. I'd say it's a car that accelerates in the lower gears really, really well, which you'll be in the lower gears maybe more often, just a little bit off your ideal speed when you're a beginner. And it helps get you back to the speed you're supposed to be at pretty quick. It's definitely not a car that punishes errors. I'd say it helps absorb and hide those errors that we all make as beginner and intermediate. When you get a chance to check out your new... Oh, awesome. What's this? Okay, so I got to see what iSquirrel is saying right here.
Has joined the room.
Get into the chat, because the one on the bottom reading, at least the camera's no longer in the wrong spot. But, got to be pretty fast to catch it.
Hi.
All right. JCCR, can you provide me with 3 colors? Oh, I got to get this caught up here. Oh, okay, so I guess it re-popped up the question of JCCR, can you provide me with the 3 colors you like for a livery? Very, very cool. Yeah, red, green, blue. Sometimes a bit of black mixed in, but an all black car. The Toyota MR2 that I own is all black, and honestly it's not my style because I like things clean, looking good, shining. I hate paint chips or scratches, and black shows all of that. It's an absolute nightmare. Even if you wash black with you make the mistake, you got a little bit of sand or one little stone in your wash mitt, you got black, you've just ruined it. Now you have to do, it's not ruin, but you have to do a big long compound. You got to get it right, because too much compound and you can just burn right through your clear coat. Oh, son of a gun. Big rookie mistake there. Yeah, please hit me, I deserve it. Oh, a Mustang. We got someone with big. His name's Coco, but we'll say he or her. That individual has big Cocos to be driving. I find the Mustang hard to drive. Thanks for the push. Thank you. I really needed that. Thank you. Big day at work. Work 12 hours a day, but please. It's like dads that do mixed martial arts, and they're like in their late 30s. 40s or even 50s, and after a day of work they go do martial arts with 20-year-olds, and they just get their sore backs and knees all worked over. Oh, that was dirty. How that GT, sorry, it's now the Ford GT, or maybe it was a GT40. That's old enough. Nope, that's the 2005 model. So the Ford GT just got rocked into the wall. Is the Mustang. Who's the dirty driver? Oh, someone's a dirty driver. Oh, there we go. Dirty Corvette. Firestorm JCW. I do like the Spartan mask helmet on the back of your vehicle. Mind you, if you're wearing that nowadays, it's not, a warrior's helmet. It's a mask. Well, the best revenge is going to be success, so I am going to work to pass 6th here. Got to rev up quite a bit the NSX, but not over rev it and lose time. But if I want to get the most out of this, got to make sure it's flashing. Oh, it's starting to be a much better speed. So I was doing that first corner way too slow. If you've got the right angle, you can get on the gas real early. You just have to have slowed down to the right speed in the first place. Such control. Like you can see there, it handles the curbs great. The NSX doesn't get thrown off. I feel like the 911 often when I'm on the curbs, or the Lamborghini Huracan, if I'm on the curbs and I give gas, the back end just slides out. Oh, way too hot. Huge mistake. And quite a few on the pack made that major error. We were, I think, all focusing on the car in front, being too eager and not watching the map. Now, a lot of people probably have the radar on. Followed by another pretty major error, but I'm going to clean up the racing here. I know where I'm at on the track now. not focusing on the back end of the white Corvette with the Spartan helmet. It's weird, when you race, you need to be aware of what's around you, but almost in your own world, in your own bubble, remembering your brake points, your acceleration points, and you know where you are on the track, keeping your eyes ahead down the road, and definitely not just staring at the fine back end of a Corvette. Some nice booty on that Corvette. I don't know if that was slow or fast on that corner. Well, we'll know when we get our little update. See if that was the fastest I've done that section or if it was considerably slow. Yeah, it was a little slow. Felt just a little bit too slow. Mind you, let's be honest, all my bendies are slow. I'm the slowest racer. I've got some of the worst lap times, but can still pole often, just not on Red Bull yet, but I'd say midweek. We're midweek. Near the end of week, Friday or Saturday, we'll be bowling here. Highway 1 at first, absolutely horrible. I think my first lap around was a 2:15 followed by a 2:05, and then I couldn't beat 2:05 for a while. But we got the times way down, much lower than that, and got a lot of fun, epic battles on Highway 1. Ooh, that's a nice turn in. You let go of the brakes quick with the steering wheel turn, and the nose turns right in. Kind of right where I wanted it. And this is going to be one of my faster laps because the last two corners, I believe, 133, I still need to shave 2 seconds off that to be on to my qualifying lap. And that's, I find, what's dangerous about qualifying laps. Qualify a really great lap, but it's kind of really somewhat luck. It's nothing that you can rinse and repeat and be consistent with. You might get thrown into a lobby where everyone's consistent lap is quite a bit faster than your, one-off. So that's kind of what was happening to me when I was in C class. And I appreciate, I know a lot of you are watching our A class and B class. And thank you for the support. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. It's a lot more fun doing with people, racing with people, than instead of just, racing. At the beginning of the video, I was racing with Winston, and that's cool, but I think he decided that it's too late and went to bed. And I have no rear view mirror to see if he's on the couch behind me. I do know Mario there is pretty useless and doesn't give me any driver tips. He always forgets to plug in his mic. And there's the racing seat. Well, racing seat, it's the seat that I had in the Toyota MR2 because I was foolish enough to remove when I was younger the suede and leather seats I had. That should have been my pit right there, but we'll need to make sure we get it in next lap. Feel free to drop a comment reminder because I often miss the entry point to the pits. So we took that a lot better than this Mercedes. So he went in too hot and just went to the very end of the turn. Didn't go out, but you can see how slowing down first, slowing down more, go in slow, come out quick, really does get you a faster result. And I just butt slammed him a little. Sorry, buddy. Did not mean to butt slam you. Hip check if you're playing hockey. Oh, I was like, I'm going to get booted hard here. Oh, you went wide. Thank goodness. That's going to give us a chance to retake. So this is a bit of an epic battle going on with this beautiful Mercedes. Sounding great, looking good. But missing the apex, and he's going to pay. Oh, he's not going to pay for it. I'm a little wide. Oh, my goodness. What the heck? We have someone who wants to start a war, and I'm not biting. I am not a fish. I'm not biting on that dirty lure. I'm so worried. I'm gonna get speared. Ooh, I did that nice and was 2 into the turns, missed the pit, so feel free to drop a comment next lap for me to head into the pits. Right before, I wasn't watching, I was really focused on passing 6th. Wondering who's pitted? I wonder who's pitted by now. I think a lot of cars pit on 4th and 5th lap, but I'm still getting decent lap times with the tires the way they are, and honestly, if it wasn't for a 1-minute penalty, I would not lap. I can make tires last the whole race. Ooh, we got hit. We've been hit. And someone else went off track trying to hit us. And that's, he hit us, but he's still ahead of us. And he's going to take this one just, oh, I guess no, not too slow. Very respectable speed. I thought he'd overbrake. Oh, I'm going for the lawn business. We've mowed some lawn. And we get a penalty for sucking. Fair enough. But I think they should pay me. So I feel the lap, yeah, the pits are coming up right here, and I want to actually get in, not get the 3.5 seconds, and make it for a well-rounded 4 second. Oh, you're even passing me in the pits, man. Hot dog. Fair enough, good job. Oh, squirrel, thank you. Yeah, pit. And let's definitely not refuel, completely unneeded. And I'd argue with how the tires are. Oh no, it's good, we're pitting. I used more tires this time. The GTR used next to no tires. I'm pretty impressed what the GTR could do. Look, I think those mags are really nice. Back of the pack battle. Coming up. Back of the pack battle, and we've got the 0.5 to run here. Braking too early, so I'm going to correct by lifting off the pedal. Wrong angle, much slower than usual. So you can really see how not getting the right drive line because you're just kind of trying to make up for an error and go faster in. It doesn't work. You can never go in fast. You have to always go in slow so you can get the apex, which was not well demonstrated, but I'm going to work to get it here. I'm going to be patient. And there you can see we got the right line and really catching back up. His doors might get blown. Ah, son of a gun. I forgot about the penalty. I was really focusing on the points of the track. Everyone's such a faster driver when they really focus in on their brake points and getting down to the right speed. Better to get in too slow than to go in a lot too slow is still better than a little too hot. So here, oh, look at those dirty dogs. Caesar, was that Caesar or was that the Ferrari? Anyways, I'm not going to shed a tear for the Ferrari because he treated me, we'll say he gave me the... I'm not going to finish that sentence. He gave me a certain treatment. I was going to say the Stormy Daniels treatment, but kind of. I couldn't finish the sentence because I don't know the names of any actors, but anyways, he gave us a good pounding. He was rather physical. If we were in a relationship, it would be called domestic abuse. So no tears shed for him getting pushed off the track. And I'm nonetheless happy that he's right behind me. I like competitive racing, and I really don't mind getting past when they do the maneuver correctly, which definitely not the correct maneuver there. He's acting like a child. If he is a child, I'm sorry, fair enough. Whew. I'm kind of sweating right now. This is intense with this Ferrari shark behind me. You should get a shark skin for the car. Oh, speaking of which, I thought there we might actually have a chance to pass Cesar, but even though he went a little off, he was still not that slow. It's not the outcome I expected. Got to use that engine braking. Got to get the right line, and we can smart, safe driving. Not very fast driver, but you can still always better to be smart and safe. Of course, you can be faster. That is the goal. We're going to slowly get faster. We're going to go from 0 to hero together, and I appreciate your support, and I really appreciate that you're watching, dropping comments. Really appreciate when people drop comments. Thank you so much. So Lone Wolf in the house tonight, and Squirrel 86, regulars, and we actually have another regular in the house, but I don't want to say the name wrong, and it's probably not my best time to look as much as I want to look at the chat. With this Ferrari, I can't text and drive with this fast Ferrari behind me. Not only is he fast, he's all about that rear end action on my car. So I am going to save my rear end and get it out of here. I'm going to get the heck out of Dodge. So second, and I could have been higher up. I can't even say mid-second. It wasn't low second, but I'll flat my ego and feel better and say that I was in mid-second, but I should have been probably high second there. And the NSX, I love it. We can really use first. It's peppy, it's got power. It snaps without snapping out the back end. Oh, this is the slow one. Kind of forgot that at a certain point you got to let go of the brake and say, you know what, I'm going to take whatever I've got and let go of the brake so you stop sliding in a straight line. Which can seem frightening and counterintuitive. Your brain's going to be like, no, you're still going too fast. Stay on that brake, but you'll just slide into the gravel. Oh, no. Shucks. I'd love to say that's because we got hit by the Ferrari, but that was the NSX. Can't blame the tires. That's just me giving a little too much throttle on the curbs because I had mentally started to truly believe that the NSX, you can be throttle in hard on the curbs, and the answer was no, even though the steering wheel was barely turned. That time, I guess I was just a little too on the curbs, or maybe ever so slightly off, and I had to pay for it. I guess I don't have to worry about getting put back into C-Class, but we will get some podium finishes for the end of the week. The times are getting a lot faster. Started with, what, 139, I think? When the Red Bull Ring came out, I was having trouble. I think 141 was my first lap time, and it was bad. Just like in life, don't give up. Just because you're not great or even bad at something now doesn't mean you're going to continue to be bad. Find the right strategies, put in the time, put in the actions, and you're going to get better and better. Working out is, if you stick to it, is something that really helps train your brain to see that consistent effort, applying the right strategies and repeated actions. So little efforts give huge results, and that's true for everything in life. I learned it with working out. I really learned it with working out and reading. Dyslexic, so I had trouble learning how to read. Learned how to read really later on. Not high school or anything, but still not when I should have known how to read. But I was able to learn at a young age. Hey, I thought I would never be able to learn how to read. It's like, you know what? Consistent effort, small consistent efforts. Because if you try to do like too much all at once, you might just burn yourself out and your brain's like, no, don't ever do that again. But small consistent efforts, trying to learn how to read throughout the summer, every day for, twice a day for 30 minutes. By the end of the summer, could learn how to read before going to law school for 1 year, but in French, couldn't speak very much French, couldn't read very much French, gave it about 4 or 5 months of lots of reading, effort, an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, an hour at night, learned how to read. Same thing for the gym, same thing for sim racing. So sim racing, if you've got a parent that's like saying, hey, why are you wasting your time sim racing? I'd say maybe playing arcade racing games, because you can go from 0 to hero in like an hour because there's just very little skill required. Yeah, maybe you're wasting your time. But playing a sim racer, one, you're going to get better at driving an actual car and understanding how the physics work. So you'll be a safer driver. That could save your life. Two, it's a lot of work. It's very, very difficult, and it requires finding strategies, applying those strategies into actions, and then rinsing and repeating. So for any parent that thinks sim racing isn't worth it, no, this is like getting, your kid into karate. It teaches discipline. It teaches consistency. Sim racing teaches discipline, consistency. A lot of things you're going to learn, and having faith in yourself and saying, it's not about, am I good enough? Of course you're good enough. All you need to do is find the right strategies and apply the actions. So karate, or, a sport, playing a sport, or playing sim racing, you've got something that'll teach you amazing life lessons. Now, thank you so much for the question. I really appreciate it. It's really nice. I'm on my mostly economic setup, my poor man setup, except for the steering wheel. It's expensive, but I kind of bought it used. I'd love to get a newer one at some point, but anyways, I love this system. It's the Thrustmaster TGT2. So the Thrustmaster TGT2, GT2, so it's like T Gran Turismo 2, one way to remember it. It's a mouthful, sorry. I got the seats from my friend is a mechanic, and actually he built it. The seats from a scrapyard. I had actually gone to a scrapyard also for a seat, but I bought his rig, and then instead I used to have just what was essentially a stand-up rectangle, and I started off on the Thrustmaster T150 in the back. It's a good enough setup. It gives a little bit of resistance in the steering wheel, whereas this gives a ton of resistance. So putting this on a max for a kid isn't even a good idea. It'll rip their arm off. I don't even play it on max because my wrists can't handle it. It's a beefy unit. It's got a lot of power. The T150 for my arms, I was like, this isn't strong enough. Like, I don't feel enough resistance, but I, also kind of work out, and I'm stronger than I look. I don't look very strong, but I'm pretty strong. So I wanted something with a little more resistance. This is absolutely fantastic. It also has the booster at the bottom that looks like a turbo, and the booster really kicks it up. So I'm actually playing it without the booster, so I could say I don't need the booster. I've got my wrists hurt too much. So I don't need it because I've got pains. But yeah, nice little setup. I really love the original wheel, the feel to the original wheel. It's in the box over to the right now, but because of probably all the static coming off this seat, and I had at one point too much all on one power bar, a mixture of that, one way or another. I saw a bolt come out of the steering wheel, did not feel pleasant, and then after that, just gameplay. Won this race this morning, fantastic. Doesn't it feel great when we win a race? And it's not arcade racing, so it's not like you win a race all the time, and it's not like playing against the AI. Once you start winning against the AI, you're pretty much unstoppable in this game, and then it kind of loses the wow factor. So you're just racing to make money, and you're often 1 minute ahead, and you're racing by yourself. Not that fun. At that point, don't give up on the game. Buy a nice decent unit and throw in some online racing. So yeah, the rest is just wood painted black. I used to have My wife and I, we built a little rectangle, and I could be racing with someone actually beside me with the T150. If we cut down to a PS4, because the T150, that one I think is only PS4 only, I believe. But anyways, it's a nice unit. It goes well. Really, really happy. But had to get, I also bought it used, this Thrustmaster steering wheel. It's the Ferrari steering wheel, and it's great. I love it. So let's see where we're at in the comment section. When I get a chance, go check out your new livery for the GTR type in JCCR. Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much. So I'm going to grab the controller here just because it's going to be faster. And let's show for people that, showed up only a few minutes ago. Everyone probably knows this, but I like covering everything from like beginner to pro. And I'm not a pro, but I know a few things. I read and I watch. Fanatec and a Logitech Pro. Yeah, let me know. The Fanatec is, like, in my opinion, really, really high end. Let me know how you feel about the Fanatec. So impressed. I have a friend that has a computer set up, and he's got a very expensive Fanatec unit. And that's what got me hooked on having a wheel. I just had to have one after that. And let me know how you feel about the Fanatec versus the Logitech. I wonder how much torque your Logitech. I can't remember what units they calculated it in, but I remember like some units had like a 2 as a rating, and then others had, I think up to 8 was the highest that I saw from what I was shopping, but I know for computer you can go higher. I like it, but the Pro Logitech has way more details. Okay, but does the Fanatec have more power versus the Logitech, or is it all off the same power unit? By the way, this is a double belt unit if I'm not mistaken. It's not a direct drive, and I'm wondering, is your Fanatec direct drive? So let's go to load style. Oh, of course, if you want to see this, we probably have to turn on the GTR, but let's see here. JCCR right there, and I think I'm gonna have to put on the GTR. I'm looking like a total noob here. Yeah, we gotta. So of course they'll always switch in the car you're currently driving. Now, I feel like my out option here is being covered by the camera. Okay, trying to find my way out of here. Pressing on the back here. The camera, I'm pretty sure, is blocking what I need to see. The out option here. There we go. Oh, and okay, the camera's still here, but we got out. Okay, so let's head over to the GTR. Go to change car. Oh, 11 Newton meters. Thank you very much, Just Gameplay. So, yeah, the wheels get, and I'm not pretending like I know this. We've got a great community that coaches and mentors. Just Gameplay, thank you so much. Yes, it's measured in Newton meters, and yours has, the Logitech has more power. Wow, okay. Back in my head, back in the day, Logitech wasn't, I didn't realize Logitech had such high quality stuff. Pro Logitech, very cool. Okay, I maybe check that out. I do like my Thrustmaster, but my Thrustmaster did kind of try to kill me by having a shock come out. But then again, like I said, too much static electricity, and I had everything that I run off one power bar, and actually my light switch over on the wall has shot little lightning bolts out of it far more times. So I'm pretty sure my basement isn't very happy with me, and that I'm just demanding way too much power from one little outlet. Okay, so let's change car. Let's head over to the GTR here. So GTR, I only actually bought and I'm so grateful because of subscribers. So we were suggested this car. Squirrel suggested it to us, and Lone Wolf had mentioned this in the BRZ as well. But because of those two viewers, Lone Wolf and Squirrel, I bought this and was blown away. It looks like it's going to drive like a Ford Fusion, and it's just absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It does not get pushed around, but it also takes a bend. I did expect it to not get pushed around. And come on, it looks like a truck, and surprisingly kind of a very attractive truck, but it looks like a big block. I knew it wouldn't get pushed around, but very cool. Very, very cool that it also handles really well. Okay, so let me know, Squirrel, if I'm doing this wrong. When you get a chance, go check out your new livery for the GTR type in JCCR. So I'm going to look up this when I'm offline, find it, and show it off in the next live tomorrow night, because I'll figure out what I'm doing wrong here. But thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We'll be getting into some epic battles tomorrow night, and I really appreciate everyone coming in to either learn, coach, or mentor, because together here we're going to learn together. So join 2018 version. Fantastic. I will take care of that as I get offline, but thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you had as much fun as I did, and hope to see you again for the next epic battle, usually live starting every night at anywhere between 9 and 9:30, depending on I need to make sure the wife's happy, so depending, generally more towards 9:30, so that, get her set up to go to bed. Thank you so much, everyone. I wish you all more cars and more power. Hope you get to put the pedal to the metal on your favorite car, and truly appreciate your support. Take care, folks.